Highlights from the AM Cup and the Race Room Rank Championship Season 2 of 2022 would see Denez starting from pole position, but it was Ben Farkash with a better start up towards the first corner. Up onto two wheels goes the Hockenheim race winner, and he'd lose out a couple of positions. Balázs Nagy coming through as well as Sebastian Rey, and the door was open for more pain up towards turn 3 as the door would be open for A.Fossto and for Pasemko to come through. Melichak Mackley was on the rear end of Mark Nandori before coming down into T4. A bit of a miscommunication between the two of them, and Nandori would be sent off into the gravel trap on the exit of the fourth corner. The top 6 were starting to pull away, whilst 7th was a feisty battle, seeing Popov trying to hang on from Mishevic up towards the first corner. Mishevic would grab himself over 7th position, but Popov was not done with that one. He'd send it down the inside, and then the Peugeots would come through, Peter Daniel being the head of those, and Rd.2 also making his way past. Mishevic getting a bit slow as well as the Peugeots would switch positions. It opened up the door for Melichak Mackley to come through in the double left-hander in the middle of the circuit. A poor lap for Mishevic. Back to the race lead, the 6 were pulling away. Fossto in 3rd position under pressure from Sebastian Rey. Balázs Nagy trying to keep up with the race leader of Denez. But as the battle was brewing for 3rd place, Sebastian Rey wasn't just ready to go for a move just yet. Balázs Nagy was, though. He'd send it down the inside of Denez coming into T3. Denez with the up and under trying to get back to the inside would retake over the race lead, but it was bringing the 4 behind right back into this fight. Fossto leading them. Bit of a mistake from Rey, just slowing down the 3 behind. It was, though, Fossto that was the main guy on the attack. Straight to the inside, coming down into T4, getting past Balázs Nagy and up into 2nd position with a super move, a super cutback, diving back down the inside. Meanwhile, the Peugeots would all come together just a touch. Daniel on the inside, sending out the likes of Melichak Mackley and Rd.2, who would drop back behind the likes of Mishevic, and then also Bozo, who would come straight down the inside, a bit wide from Mishevic. Daniel coming through the middle in the Peugeot, the Renault on the outside being Bozo, and an absolute calamity towards the back end of the top 10. On board with Rd.2, who was trying to attack Mishevic, who would then come straight back across the nose, and unfortunately the Lincoln Co would be sent into the pathway of Bozo coming through that 3rd corner, and Bozo had nothing that he could do about it. Meanwhile, back up to the battle for the race lead. Pasemko would go out a little bit wide, opening the door for the Hockenheim race winner of Ben Farkash to get around the outside coming into T6 with a super move. A little bit of contact between the two of them, just slowing them down. Have to work a little bit harder to catch up with those ahead. Rd.2 would be out just a touch wide, opening the door for Melichak Mackley to make a move into the penultimate corner and down the inside of the final one, moving his way up the back end of the top 10. Meanwhile, Sebastian Rey straight down the inside of Balázs Nagy with a very aggressive pass. Nagy, though, with a beautiful move back around the outside of the 4th corner to hang on to the final spot on the podium, at least for now. A bit of contact between the two of them up towards the run between 4 and 6, and that was Balázs Nagy hanging on to the podium spot. It wasn't done, though, because Sebastian Rey would be straight back down the inside of Nagy. Nearly opened up the opportunity as well for Pasemko to come straight back through on Ben Farkash. Still, Balázs Nagy was able to hang on from Sebastian Rey. Sebastian Rey, though, was having to worry about Ben Farkash coming straight back through, and then just after that as well, he'd drop back to the rear end of the train because Pasemko would be down the inside coming into turn 7. And he would be down to 6th place. A big move down the inside from Ben Farkash. Contact between himself and Balázs Nagy. And Ben Farkash would be sent down to 7th position behind even Popov, and nearly behind Daniel as well, who would hang on to just about. The race lead, though, was being turned up to 11 because Fossto was on the attack straight down the inside of Denez with a brilliant move into turn 3. It certainly wasn't done, though, because Denez was firing it back down the inside into T4. The up and under, though, from Fossto would give him the inside line all the way around 5. The outside line for turn 6, but that one's not necessarily too bad, certainly not at this point in the race, and Fossto would retake over the race lead with immediate effect. The top 4 would remain very, very close, but no one could do anything about Andre Fossto. After taking over the race lead, he would hang on to the checkered flag and take victory in the 2nd race of the season.